O Allah, guide me among those whom Thou hast guided thee right, and preserve me among those whom Thou hast preserved, and befriend me among those whom Thou hast befriended. Bless me in whatsoever Thou dost grant me, and deliver me from the evil of what Thou hast judged. Surely Thou judgest, and none can judge against Thee, and he whom Thou befriendest is not disgraced. Blessed art Thou, O Lord, and exalted be Thee above what they set up besides Thee. I bear witness, nothing deserves to be served besides Thee, and I bear witness that Muhammad is Thy servant and apostle. Amen.
You belong to yourself. You're an independent people, created from the nation of free people. Yes, sir. You don't need to go nowhere but to yourself. Yes, sir. There will be a great separation. Yes, sir. So I said, it is on now.
The college is meant to prepare you for your future. That the time dictates that if we don't do something for ourselves as a people, we will be destroyed. And the aim of the enemy right now is to take us out.
We have God with us. We have Him as our guide. Yes, sir. We don't have to stand around here and ask the question, what must be done? Yes, sir. Get up and let's go and do something. Yes, sir. down. We cannot lay down.
Yes, sir.
We must get up.
Yes, sir.
And go forward.
Do you know what real joy is in life? Visioning something and bringing it into reality. That's real joy. Do you know what the next step in joy is? Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell in unity.
Tonight, you need to fasten your seatbelts. We're going to hear from some of the greatest minds in the world. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of trusting our future and the future of our children into the hands of those who don't love us. I believe we need to revitalize black leadership.
Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessing, family. Welcome to the Mo Today series on Black Muslim businesses. I'm your host, Sajdah Wendy Muhammad, and today we have a very special and sensitive show. We are joined by Sister Shilan Lucas Muhammad, author of the groundbreaking and somewhat controversial book, Life After Rape. I celebrate and admire her courage and strength, and when I heard her story, I was compelled to help her tell her story. I titled this show, Life After Rape, Unraveling America's Sexual Subculture, because we can only unravel this subculture when individuals like Sister Shilan break through the stigma and shame of discussing what happened to them. Only when we begin to deconstruct the shame of sexual victimization will we shake the foundation of the sexual subculture that is prevalent in our communities. When this horrible act of violence happens, people just don't generally say anything, and they are often encouraged not to speak up. Many studies over the years have examined reasons why victims don't report these crimes to the police, but few have included emotions such as shame. Even the National Crime Victimization Survey excludes shame among its 19 distinct categories of responses for why respondents don't report to police. Many people have lost jobs and families when they have stepped up and spoken out. Even social media stigmatizes people who speak out and even use the word rape in their postings about this type of act of violence. Just the mention of the word rape can cause a person to be banned and censored. Because women are often held up as a symbol of nationality, raping an enemy's women during war is used as a tactic to disparage, degrade, and demoralize an entire nation. And our Black nation has been a victim of war, and our women have been raped and disparaged and degraded and demoralized all around the world. And as the history shows us, hurt people hurt people. The brainwashed become the brainwashers. The victims mimic their oppressors, and now we are raping and sexually assaulting one another. And we are watching people being sexually assaulted, and we too are silent. And since our colonizers have made us all up into themselves, we have developed a sexual subculture that is responsible for a lot of the trauma that our community is burdened with. In the United States alone, significantly, more women than men are sexually assaulted. In 2002, about 442,754 women were reported that they have been raped or sexually assaulted. And that's an increase from the previous year. In that same year, 89,053 men were raped or sexually assaulted. Also a significant increase compared to the year before. Other statistics report that 1 in 4 women in the U.S. have been sexually assaulted, and Black women are the forgotten survivors of sexual assault. Black women are at disproportionate risk of sexual violence. According to the American Psychological Association, for every Black woman who reports rape, at least 15 Black women do not report it. 1 in 4 Black girls will be sexually abused before the age of 18. 1 in 5 Black women are survivors of rape. 35% of Black women experience some form of contact sexual violence during their lifetime. 40 to 60% of Black women report being subjected to coercive sexual contact by age 18. 17% of Black women experience sexual violence other than rape by an intimate partner during their lifetime. The Institute of Women's Policy Research reports this. More than 20% of Black women are raped during their lifetimes, a higher share than among women overall. Black women were 2.5 times more likely to be murdered by men than their white counterparts, and more than 9 in 10 Black female victims knew their victimizers. Black women also experience significantly higher rates of psychological abuse, including humiliation, insults, name-calling, and coercive control, than do women overall. That's alarming. And what is equally as alarming is the silence surrounding the issue and the sexual subculture that this silence has created. Black people have been sexually assaulted since we were kidnapped and brought here in chains. The plantation culture itself, with its strict hierarchy of white male authority, emboldened enslavers to demean and dominate those over which they held power. And the law provided enslaved people with no protection from sexual violence. The rape of an enslaved woman was not a crime under most state laws. This culture of violating the bodies of another person remains prevalent today. A scholar at the University of Nevada coined the phrase rape as a badge of slavery. Let's work to rip off that badge of slavery. Let's stop raping and sexually assaulting one another. And if we see something, we should say something. I want to provide a safe space for my sister this evening to share her supreme purpose with the world. So my sister Shalon is going to talk to us today about her book, Life After Rape. I'm going to bring my sister on. Assalamu alaikum, sis.
Walaikum salam, beloved. Thank you so much.
It is so good. I want to thank you for your bravery. And as I did some research for our conversation this evening, I found that the face of survival after this type of violence does not look like us. It appears that Black women are even more silent today around this subject than ever before. So you are courageous, and I'm so honored and grateful to have you here.
I appreciate that. Thank you so very much.
Have you found in your experience that the face of resources or the target of resources are not towards women who look like you and I?
They are not towards women who look like you and I. And as I was looking at that and researching that, I found that the other faces, they have more support. And it's especially if once they report it, all sources are gathered around them to assist them. And the perpetrators are locked away. Mm-hmm. They're beaten before they get to their lockup. And they're traumatized as well because of that. Us reporting it, they already don't view us as human. So because of that, we're just with that slavery mentality still in full effect. This is what we deserve. We're used to it. This is what we are accustomed to. She's just, we're still subhuman. We're still
Yeah.
not human, and they could care less about us.
Yeah, it's so we have to start caring about one another.
Yeah.
As I do so much research on so many subjects, there is one thing that is a pervading the underbelly of our culture. And we have this sexual subculture within our community that we don't talk about. We have young girls that go missing and nobody even says anything about it. How do you think this subculture contributes to not only what you've gone through, but to the encourage you to just not say anything?
And that's so unfortunate. The subculture contributing to us just not saying anything. It's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
We're not believed. We're victimized all over again when we do speak up, because we're asked. And I had someone, a dear someone, ask me, well, what were you wearing? What does it matter what I was wearing? And the thing about it is, this dear relative of mine knows that I've been a modest young lady all of my life. So, and then she said, did you think about it before you went over his house? The thing with me is, I didn't even go over anyone's house. So to ask someone that and victimize them all over again, I was invited to a party,
Mm-hmm.
picked up and taken to this party.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't expecting that to happen. So I didn't put myself in a situation for that to happen.
Yeah.
No.
Before we get into what happened, talk to me a little bit, sis, about what led you, why did you finally decide to speak out?
I had a simple conversation, and I wasn't even expecting the conversation, but I had my supreme purpose was created in 2020 to help young ladies, young Black women, because I was focused on them because of the statistics that you just read. So because of that, I began to focus on our young girls and women. And I wanted them to know that if they held on to the trauma and kept silent about what was happening to them, that they would continue to ruin their lives. They had no idea that their lives, and still to this day, are very much so affected by the silence of not voicing what happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
I was speaking with my coach, because I'm in a tribe, and who helps, and because of that tribe, I was helped to mentally recover from this. I had a conversation with my coach, and I just happened to, out of nowhere, tell him, look, I don't think I'll be able to get through much of any part of my life or recover because I'm still focused on this rape. And he said, what I never told anyone until I just came out of nowhere. And he said, he stopped me. What did you say? And I repeated myself. He said, Shalon, you have got to get that out of you. If you don't get that out of you, your life is going to continue to spiral down. It's going to continue in this. You'll never have a good relationship. You'll never have a positive relationship. And it's affecting more than just your relationships with a man. It's affecting your relationship with your children. It's affecting your relationship with every bit of your family that you're communicating with. I had no idea about that. So it just came out of nowhere. And he said, you got to talk about it.
It was time.
It was time.
It was time. How long ago did this happen to you?
Oh, the rape happened in May or June of 1987. It was our Dunbar graduation party. And it was just a side party because it wasn't the actual high school graduation party.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was a house party because it was outside of the actual party. But some of the high school football team and other members were giving a party. And the girl, she asked me, I'd never gone to a party before, ever. So I was excited. And then by me being a loner and really not having any friends, that really made me excited. They really invited me to this party.
So you were kind of that high school student that you was always by yourself,
Yes.
maybe kind of isolated. And these people, obviously you all knew of each other because you were in high school together. So you were kind of like that quiet person that it may have been easy to victimize.
Very much so. I stayed to myself. My family life was horrific, so I didn't have one. I was pretty much so, very much so a loner.
Your family life was horrific.
Oh, it was horrible. Yes, there was no family. My mom was on the street. She's still not in my life. And I'm 53 years old now. I'm still yearning for my mom. I have to get over it. I've gotten over it since I've mentally recovered and received help. My father wasn't in my life. I've received help from that. So them not being there to run to have any guidance from, and then other family members, my family just scattered all over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, there was no one to run to, no one to talk to at all.
So you went to this party with some friends. Just
she came to my home, picked me up, and took me to the party where others were.
Did you just meet her, or was it?
No. I thought she was my friend. Yeah, we're in the same division.
Like your homegirl, your really close friend.
The only one I really talked to, the only one I really was close to and talked to. Seriously, the only one. I may have had one on the side here and there, but it was her.
Yeah.
So I clung to her because I finally had a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, she came, picked me up. We went to the party. The only thing is, she didn't take me back home. She didn't make sure I got home. And I had not talked to her in 1987. I had not talked to her until I seen her again in 2017. She didn't call me the day after. She had not called me none after. But someone reached out to me, letting me know that there had been, for years, Dunbar class picnic. And why had I not been to any of them? Well, I didn't know of them, so someone invited me. And it was the first time I had gone and seen people from Dunbar. And I was stuck and traumatized all over again to some degree because I had never been in the environment around them since 87. So yeah, she acted like she saw a ghost.
She did.
She did.
So she left you there.
She left me there.
And you don't remember who did it or anything?
No, I don't. After that day, I was gone. I was mentally, spiritually dead. I just remember seeing faces. So I was gang raped. There was one face after another face after another face. The only thing about it is I didn't understand why I was laughing so much until later I found out that the punch was spiked. I never drank anything in my life. I didn't even know they drank. But yeah, so I finally later found out why things happened. I was so disoriented.
She left you there. How did you get home?
I walked. I didn't know where I was. I just walked. I didn't even know where to walk to.
That night or the next day?
The next day that I woke up, because I woke up and just got up off of the floor, somebody's floor. I don't even know whose house I was in. No one was there when I woke up. I woke up to a house, an empty house.
They might have thought you were dead. You woke up to an empty house.
I woke up to an empty house.
You leave out and God was with you because you found your way at least to the semblance of a home that you had.
And I walked. Because I had been so used to walking in my childhood, I walked to school. I lived on 56th and Lafayette. Dunbar is on 30th and King Drive. I walked to school every day because my great-grandparents didn't believe I was going to school. So they wouldn't give me money to get on the bus to go to school. I loved school. That was my safe haven. That was my escape from the life I was living. I loved school. So because I was used to walking, I just walked
And then you found your way there.
on my way. Yeah.
And then it's just kind of been a blur for you ever since.
Ever since I tuned it out
Yeah.
until that day when Coach brought it up. It's like, oh, this did happen to me. I don't know what made me remember it on that day, because it was out of sight, out of mind for me. But it was time.
Mm-hmm.
It was time. And I just recently heard that you can report, a victim can report her rape from 17 years old, whatever age it is, 32 years later, up until 32 years later, which would make me at that age, 32 years later, 50 years old.
Mm.
And here it was that I finally opened up and came out after 36 years. It took me 36 years to speak to you right now.
Yes.
But when I did finally come out, I was 53,
Okay.
52, I believe. So it's like, oh, I only had till 50. So, oh, well.
Okay. You know, I'm so proud of you because there's so many young girls that need to hear this story because, and older girls, you know, because a lot of us have gone to parties and think about how we miss something like that happening to us by this much. And how oftentimes we don't think about being responsible. I know for me, if I go somewhere with my friends, if we go there together, we leaving together.
That's why I feel I was set up.
Mm-hmm. You really felt you was set up.
I have started to believe I was set up.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, because so many girls need to hear it. And there's so many women that are dealing with this who just holding it in. They go to parties, they go to events, they hang out with people that they think maybe are their friends. This kind of thing happens. And then people turn their back and act like they never saw it. Nothing ever happened. And no one called you later to say, did you go back to school? That wasn't the last day of school, right?
No, it wasn't. I had not had prom yet. I had not gone to luncheon yet.
Uh-oh. You're muted, sis. Yeah, you're still muted. There you go.
Okay. When you put this phone on do not disturb, these smartphones are still very much so not smart.
So you said that you had not gone to prom, you had not graduated, you had not gone to your senior luncheon.
And I could not go back to that school.
You didn't go back?
No. I ended up graduating from Dunbar's evening school, the night school, where I knew not one of them would be there in the evening.
Right.
No, I never went back to that school. And what I don't understand now is, how was there not one official to reach out to somebody on my emergency?
I was going to say, nobody called you. Nobody said, hey, Shalon girl. Hey, girl, where you at?
Not one single soul. Not an official, not a counselor, not a teacher, nothing. And I know I have to believe that I had an emergency contact list.
You missed graduation.
Didn't graduate with the class graduation. No, I missed it. Right. That's why I don't understand how no one contacted any part of my family. No. Unbelievable, but no.
Yeah. So now let's talk about life after this trauma. You wrote a book. You're working on some really powerful things, and this has become your supreme purpose. What do you hope to accomplish from now finally telling your story?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you. Beautiful question. Thank you for that question. For young girls to know that they are not alone, that they can speak up, speak out, tell someone, don't hold it in, because holding it in traumatizes your life. It wreaks havoc on every bit of your life. There's nothing healthy about relationships that you'll ever have, because you're traumatized in such a way, and you don't even know it. where you just don't relate to people properly. You're always angry and not really knowing why you're filled with such anger.
Mm-hmm.
I could not properly relate to a helpmeet, because in my head I'm waiting on something to go wrong, and I have a low tolerance, and I know that's not good, but it's all part of what has happened to me. I have a low tolerance for anything that's not healthy. Culture, you can't speak to me any kind of negative way. Disagreements we have, I have to talk, and if you don't talk to me about it, then I'm thinking that I just have so many thoughts going through my head with regard to you. Okay, so you're just dismissing me. You can't just dismiss me as if I don't exist. And if you don't get the help that you need, you're going to continue to think you're just not important, not valued, you don't exist to society. So I want them to know that they matter, and that they can recover and get help and live a happy, healthy life outside of what has happened.
Yeah. This is something that's important to me that I ask you, because oftentimes those who have not been, you and I talked about this a little, those who have not been victims of this type of assault think that they can make decisions for those of you who have been victims. And so as I'm listening, I find myself wanting to say, how did this impact your relationship with other women? And what would you advise? Let's take the first one first before we go. How did that impact because there had to create some trust issues that you now have to build.
Absolutely. Wonderful question. My relationship with women does not exist. It does not. I am a Muslim woman. I am in the Nation of Islam. There are many, 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 many women behind those doors. There's not one that I've befriended that I'm really close to, because I don't trust any one of them.
Because of what happened to you.
Because of what happened to me. If this girl could make me think that she's my friend and come and pick me up and let that happen to me, I just don't. I had a family member, and I've never shared this. I don't believe I've ever shared this. I had a family member that, when I was in a relationship, and I'd known that the male that I was in the relationship with was not faithful. So at that young age, okay, you're not faithful and you doing your thing, I'm going to do my thing. Mm-hmm. I'm 17 years old, 16 years old probably at that time. So I found out because he let me find out. She had been calling him, telling him day-to-day things that were going on with me, and me trying to step outside of that relationship. Well, she called him one day and he let me hear her. She's giving him details about what I'm doing. That man could have hurt me. That man could have killed me. That man could have done anything he wanted to me, because now he's being told direct information about what I'm doing. When I heard her for myself, that was another blow. Relationship with women? Mm-mm.
Yeah. When you first told me your story, I picked that up, and I was determined to show you that a sister can have your back and help you promote. We promoted this show to over 3,000 people and your book, because I want you to know that not all women are like that. Not all women are haters and jealous. And as you begin to heal, you're going to attract some very valuable sisters into your life. I was adamant to make sure that the show starts on time, even though my show always starts on time. I said, I want this sister to know that as she mathematically is thinking and calculating her way through this trauma, that there are sisters out here and brothers who support you, who wrap their virtual arms around you, who love you, who pray for your healing. When we got off the phone, I prayed for Allah to heal you and to be present in your life. It makes me feel good to see the Honorable Elijah Muhammad over your left shoulder. So you are in a community, and while no, we're not perfect, but there are many, 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 many of us who love you and support you and care about you and pray for you and would never leave you for dead in a strange place, in a strange home. And we would check up on you if you went missing. So I just want to say that to your soul and speak from my heart as a sister to you. And I'm going to tell you when I knew that you had been traumatized. You gave me the date of when you came in the nation. And I said, Sister Shalon, I was your orientation teacher. I said, you more than likely recited to me.
Yes.
And I said, my baby don't even remember.
I just walked in those doors and I was safe. I didn't care what was going on. I didn't even pay much attention or know much of what was going on in there. I just knew I was never going to walk out of those doors because I was safe.
You are safe and people love you. You are loved. Allah loves you. He didn't forsake you. He woke you up and now you have a supreme purpose. You have a mission that is so great, and you can use that pain to unmine the beauty that is within you, that's been there the whole time, despite the life of trauma, despite what you went through with your great-grandparents, your parents, all of that. And most importantly, sis, I want you to forgive yourself. And I know that sounds a little weird, but I want you to look in the mirror and just forgive yourself for everything. Don't blame yourself. Forgive yourself. It's okay to set your boundaries, but just know, sis, that you are loved. You don't have to walk through this world feeling like no one loves you and you can't trust anybody. If you find one good sister and one good brother, just one, it can change your life. So I want you to know that we are here and we are out here. And those of us that are walking through the volume of the book behind these great men, we are tethered together, whether we like it or not.
That man saved my life. I Elijah Muhammad. How does anyone not listen to that man? That man has a message that will save your life.
What part of the message saved your life?
I'm valuable. Oh, goodness. I am the second self of God. I'm this close to God. I'm right there next to him. He's right there next to me at all times, regardless of what I go through, regardless of who is not there. God is there. Oh, just to it's one thing that he's said that I keep in my head. I don't know exactly verbatim how it is, and how it is said. You may know when he talks about working. When you're sick, work. When you're upset, when you're mad, whatever the situation is, work. So I found myself, I'm a workaholic. I work. So when he said that, whenever I get down and feel depressed, I work. I don't care what I'm doing, even if it's something around the house, I'm gonna work. That helped save my life. It stopped me from thinking so much of the trauma and what I've gone through all of the time. So yeah,
just being caught up in the work and
being caught up in the work.
The momentum, oftentimes, because at the end of the day, a lot of times when you don't know what to do, some form of momentum can help bring it out of you. You know, it's a fine line between Some people say just be still. Some people say move. Well, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us to move, because in that movement, in that work, in that movement, we will find the ability to get all of that up out of us. You never want to become stagnant. But I'm just grateful for your courage. You are my hero.
Thank you.
You really are a hero, because there's so many women that this happens to. So many women, and nobody bats an eye. Nobody says anything. So I'm grateful to you. I pray that you are able to work with young sisters to teach them what to look out for, what not to look out for. I'm thinking about you, and I think about the alcohol. So when I was growing up, I was very fortunate to have a lot of protection around me growing up. My mother, she's in the chat. She's a fighter. She don't play. When nobody gonna mess with us, no way, because my mom, she would break them down. I don't know if fortunately or fortunately, I see my mother kick a few butts in my life, okay? And my father was there just protecting and nurturing. And they taught us about liquor.
Oh.
And about what to drink, what not to be drinking. We didn't get to spend the night over people's houses. Get home by a certain time. And so when I see you and I hear you, it made me very grateful for them and all of those rules and all of that guidance. And they made it so cool to be at home that we really didn't want to kick it. We never really was people who went out and kicked it because our parents were cool. But I hope that you can relay that message to young sisters, young parents. And I say it all the time. I say, look, let your children roll with you. And I say it in the context of business, but you can say it in the context of being a survivor and a courageous woman who has overcome this horrific act or overcoming this horrific act.
Because it's definitely still a work in progress.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dianetics, when the minister introduced us to Dianetics, oh my goodness, that was the greatest tool for us.
Mm-hmm.
And then to get to have experience auditing, that was so great for me to go into the org and do the mini course materials. Overcoming the ups and downs of life was life-saving for me. It was beautiful. Personal values and integrity helped me a lot. I am so inspired to help our girls and women, because there's that girl inside of that woman who doesn't even know that she's traumatized. I want to get to them.
1 in 3 that have been raped. I'm talking about, and when that means that whether you're wearing a headpiece, an MGT uniform, no matter what, 1 in 3. And then they said for every 1 Black woman that reports, there are 15 who do not. There are Muslim women being raped every single day. So we cannot be silent about this subject.
No more. Enough is enough. No more. It's the silent taboo. That's that elephant in the room that you spoke about. No more. We cannot be silent anymore. We cannot.
You have a lot of beautiful comments in the chat. Let me share some of them with you. Let me go up here. People just saying, just giving you the greetings, surrounding you with love. That's my mom. She said, good evening. Brother Victor is saying good evening. You have Brother Dwayne saying good evening. Sister Melva sending you the greetings. Sister Sandra sending you the greetings. Sister Yasina from Detroit sending you the greetings. You got Brother Ronald sending you the greeting. He said this must be taken seriously and talked about. That's a brother saying that. You have Sister Zakia from Memphis saying, Assalamu alaikum, Shilon, my sister. You see that? You got, I ain't done. You got Sister Maria Hernandez said, peace, sisters. Brother Victor said, dear Sister Shalon, we appreciate your bravery. As students of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we are learning why we must build a righteous environment. You see this?
Yes.
Love on Purpose Tudar says, I praise God's blessings for encouraging Shilan to go forth with her truthful story. I'm so proud of your tenacity to heal. I love you, Nisi Poo. Stand strong forever. Brother Ronald went on to say, speaking your truth, you got emojis, people saying, that's right. Sister Zakia going and said, thank you so much, Sister Shalon, for all that you do. I thank you personally for being a big sister to me. People loving on you. Look at that, Young Khan. Young Khan, a great supporter.
Young Khan, he was the one that encouraged me to do this.
I already know. I knew who you was talking about. It's Regional Sky Girl sending you the greetings. Look at all this love. Melva, Phoebe said, ASA sis Shalon, you're my shiro. Miss Iwana said, Sister Shalon is a shiro. Thank you for sharing your story. I want you to know and let this love just embrace you, because everybody is not a reflection. Sister Aletha said, Assalamu alaikum, Sister Shalon. Love you, sis.
Thank you. Oh, thank you all.
Everybody is not like that small microcosm of people who hurt you. And we want you to know that. And we want you to be in your spirit and walk in that confidence and know, as you tell your story, whether you're speaking, and let me say this to you from a marketing standpoint, okay? Social media may ban you, but there are other ways that you can promote. We have a rape crisis line going across the bottom that is run by the YWCA. You can go talk to them. You may be able to sell books there. You may be able to speak. You can speak to reentry programs, women who are victims of violence, who are returning to the community out of prison. You can speak there. You can speak at juvenile detention centers. You can speak at women's home. We just said 1 in 3 Black women. There's sororities and fraternities. The AKA's headquarters is right here. You got the Deltas. You got all these Black women. You got the Links. You got the Urban League. You got all of these grassroots organizations. So you don't have to be limited to social media. If social media bans you, you got to look at it like we post Minister Farrakhan. We know that they may ban us as soon as they see the word Farrakhan. As soon as they see his face, they got an algorithm that says, oh, shadow ban them. So don't you run from your truth.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Don't you run from your truth. Stand up, put your chest out, and hold your shoulders back. Because listen, did you hear my show on the authenticity of frequency?
No, ma'am.
So the reason why the minister and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad are able to change the world is because they have a truth that they stand on, a belief, and then action. And when the truth and belief in that truth and action line up, you have the frequency. You are operating in the frequency of authenticity, which is more powerful than the frequency of love and the frequency of gratitude. It is the most powerful frequency in the world, is the frequency of God. Belief, action, and work, just like you said. But all those things got to line up. The truth, the belief, the action, or the work line up. So you can't tell a lie. You can't change the word. If you tell a lie and you change the word, now your frequency is off, because now that phrase that you use is not representative of the truth. You then bastardize the truth, and you're trying to line yourself up with something that's not truthful. Then you're trying to put action behind something that's not truthful, and you're not going to have the impact that Allah meant for you to have the impact, because he saved your life.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. And that's another thing about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that I hold so dear to, the truth. That has broken down relationships, because I'm all about the truth. And if you can't handle the truth, then I step away, because I don't want to deal with anything but the truth. We can have disagreements. Let truth be the deciding factor. Let truth make everything okay. And if you can't have a conversation and be truthful, I walk away.
So, sister, I know that you got a waiting list for the book. I thought I had up here, but that's okay. What people can do is follow you on IG at,
Yes.
is it My Supreme Purpose?
It's My Supreme Purpose.
My Supreme, I'm gonna put this up. Okay. Do you have any, is that what you want people to do so that they can stay posted on when the book goes live and they can go ahead and get it? Just follow you?
Yes, they can follow me. They can also DM me. But I also don't mind my phone ringing. They can call me and communicate with me. Call me, give me their name, information. I'll get back with them. I'll send the link to them personally because the book is in print. So yeah, I'll put them at the top of the list, and of course the names will go on down. One will be at the top, and then another one will be, however it is. Communicate with me, and I'll make sure that I get it to you. Yeah, text purpose to my number 773-991-6543.
773-991. What else?
6543. Count it down. 6543.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, isn't that how unique? 991. You can't forget that because it's almost as close to 911 emergency.
So text purpose to 773-991-6543.
And
that way you can join her mailing list. She's going to send you a link on how you can get the book and how you can support her. So text purpose to 773-991-6543.
And right now I have the free introduction and foreword to my book to give you a little bit before it even comes out. So I have that available now that I can share for free.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you again for your courage and your bravery. Anything you want to say before we go?
Oh, just be your authentic self. Don't let the woes of the world turn you inside out. Speak your truth. Speak up of any violence that happens. Don't hold that in you and wreak havoc on your life. Life is too valuable. Life is too short. There are others. Thank you, Sister Sajdah, that are out there to support you, to help you, and to be there for you. Life is too short to oh, someone just texted me.
You see? We love you, sis. So stay strong. Thank you for joining us tonight. And, reach out when the book comes out and make sure you go out and get it set up on the Black Muslim Business Directory, and we'll help you promote in that way as well.
Yes, ma'am. I thank you so much for your time and for this platform. I appreciate you. And thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, beloved.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard it. Text Sister Shalon, text purpose to 773-991-6543. And I see everybody here giving her these beautiful emojis. Thank you all. And we have going across the bottom, if you've been a victim of rape, there's a rape crisis hotline. It's 888-293-2080. Certainly, if you text Sister Shalon, purpose 773-991-6543. She's got some resources for you as well. And with that, let me tell you all what we have coming up next. Saturday, we have episode 10 of The Proper Handling of People. Next Tuesday, so we're gonna switch it up a little bit next week since we know y'all gonna be eating turkey and all of that stuff. So next Tuesday, we are going to be doing a continuation of our show on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the father of Black consciousness. And I'm going to be with Brother Captain Waleed, Brother Captain Jack, as we used to call him back in the day. This is a powerful spiritual brother, and he is a very strong member of the support team for Sajdah House, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House. And he's going to come on next week and bring the noise for us. So I'm grateful for him. And so we're going to air that. That's going to be Tuesday. So if you want to check us out live, Tuesday, 7 p.m., be right here. And I'll show you the commercial for that. And make sure you text purpose to 773-991-6543. And with that, don't go anywhere. Check out these commercials. I'm going to wait. Let me see if we got some more comments for Sister Shalon. They rolling in for her. Sister said, go ahead, Sis Sajdah. You don't miss a beat. I don't know what she's talking about, but no, I don't. Excellent presentation, Shalon, on purpose. That's right. Excellent, excellent. Look at all these hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Melva. Thank you, everyone. And we support Sister Shalon 100%. All right, family. We will see you all, inshallah, on Saturday. And don't go anywhere. We'll be back Saturday, Tuesday, and then again on Thursday. But you got to tune in Tuesday. All right. Peace and blessings, y'all.